Thank you, Madam Speaker. Following the member's speech, I'm trying to understand what it is that the Conservative Party actually stands for. In her speech, she starts with anti-immigration conspiracy theories, which undoubtedly will be used to grift and fundraise. Then she blames immigrants for destroying Canada's social fabric, which frankly is straight up racist. Then she goes into some MAGA theory talking points about immigrants and migrants. And this rhetoric is damaging to our democracy, it's damaging to Canadians. Just last month, we had anti-immigration rallies in Hamilton, which were roundly denounced by Hamilton leaders, as they should be. So my question is, the member from Oklahoma representing Canadians or just the MAGA White House?
The honourable member for Calgary Nose Hill.
I am pleased to report to my colleague that he will be voting in favour of many of our amendments. I'm sure he'll enjoy that, and I'll enjoy watching him while he does it. Thank you.
Questions and comments. The honourable member for Jonquière. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. These changes represent what we often see here in this House. People are far too sensitive when it comes to immigration, as we saw in the recent discussion. The Bloc Quebecois has brought up the Roxham Road and asylum seekers at many points. We know these asylum seekers have created enormous pressure on Quebec, and the federal government has refused to pay its fair share. Now, under C12, we see that the federal government has finally accepted our arguments, at least in part, but the damage has been done. There are people out there who think that any criticism of immigration is racism. Could my colleague speak to this sensitiveness?
My colleague is exactly right. What we've seen from the Liberals over the last 10 years, including that incomprehensible tirade from a backbench Liberal member who I just dunked on, is that the Liberals have lost the fact that just by calling things racist and not addressing real problems that Canadians have, that whole process is what has undermined Canadian pluralism. One of the things that I am very excited about in Canada is that rather than in the UK, where we see people starting to blame immigrants for the problems that previous governments and the current government there had in terms of bringing too many people into too fast, Canadians are saying, no. That's not where the finger should be pointed. It should be pointed at the Liberal government. So I've been pleased to see Canadians reject the vitriol that we just heard from a backbencher who I think will remain a backbencher for some time, and actually work. I would encourage, I'm sure that, while I have the opportunity, Madam Speaker, I would encourage my colleague in good faith across the way, do something that resembles work here. We just worked together with the government, with the Bloc Quebecois, and we amended a bill to make it better. That is how you earn respect in this place, and you earn the respect of your constituents. It's not by doing stuff like that in the House. So I want to thank my colleague from the Bloc Quebecois, from Jonquière, for raising that really relevant question. I think that's where the debate on immigration in Canada is going to go. I would also encourage the government to undertake some substantive reform and to perhaps limit some of the disappointing rhetoric that we saw from their members tonight. Thank you.
Questions and comments. The honourable member for Saanich Gulf Islands.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do understand, and I was watching in committee, that there was collaboration between the Bloc and the Conservative Party, but I'm not unhappy that those amendments have been removed. I agree that process should be more open, there should be a conversation, but I was deeply unhappy with the member for Calgary Nose Hill's amendments to restrict access to medical care for people who are in this country, not under deportation orders, awaiting their fate to be decided, who could then be told that they could only get access to medical care if their life was at risk. As I understand the amendment, as I recall it from close to the midnight hour, I thought that really wasn't my country and how we treat people who are in need of medical assistance.
Honourable member for Calgary Nose Hill.
I disagree with the member. Somebody who has made an asylum claim and it's bogus, they should not receive federal benefits. I think it's somebody who doesn't have a right to be in the country shouldn't have better access to care than a Canadian senior who's paid their way here. It's that shift in thinking that needs to happen to restore order and sanity to the fairness. So no, my colleague's wrong. Most Canadians think she's wrong. And we should be undertaking legislation that fixes the system, not perpetuates system abuse. Thank you.